What's going on, everybody? We're back today with a little video of a little bit of farm maintenance today. I decided to add some apple trees to the small acreage, and in hopes of one day having some nice apple trees, but in the meantime just trying to grow eventually hopefully something that deer can obviously want to come and eat, but not only for deer but for me and my family as well, because some of my favorite apples are Honeycrisps, and that's some of the species that I planted. So I'm just going to kind of talk about it here for a minute and show off my little apple trees. So I decided to go here on the north end of the crop field, see a little bit more sunlight. Right now it's getting a little later in the day, so they're kind of in the shade. First and foremost, I went with 5 trees total, and the Honeycrisp apple trees are my personal favorite, and they're my favorite apple, so I did 2 of them. And then I did 2 Gala apple trees and 1 Granny Smith apple tree. So I'm going to talk a little bit about it. So a Honeycrisp apple tree, these 2, I picked their biggest tree, and if you look here on like the ends of the trees, since I planted these about a month ago, they look pretty good. They got a couple of bugs have kind of eaten on it a little bit, but I can see new growth and that the roots are taking to the ground. So I like to see that. You can see obviously I had to put a little 5-foot fence cage around them because the deer will just destroy these things, both rubbing them later in the fall and nipping at the leaves. So I may have to go out even further when they grow a little bit more. This is what I started with. I'm trying to keep the area mowed a little bit around it, so it's just a little bit easier to kind of see and maintain. However, there's some grass on the inside that I need to take care of. Rather I do that with a weed eater, or rather I do that with a little bit of grass herbicide to zap that. But some people don't like herbicide in general. There's a couple of options. So right here is one of my Galas. It's a little bit of a smaller tree to start out, but it has put on a lot of leaves compared to when I first got it and planted it back in April. And it's thriving and doing well. Kind of the same thing. You notice I decided to put some mulch around the base of the trees, and originally I had dug all the mulch, and I need to take something and dig it away from the base of your apple tree, because what you want is basically to have nothing at the base so insects and bugs don't burrow into your trees and kill your trees. So I need to take a little stick, little shovel, and scrape it away from the base of the trees. From hard rains and everything, the mulch just kind of goes down into like the little volcano, the mulch volcano like I call it. And that's just a little basically the mulch is there to just help hold moisture. Like right now we're in a little bit of a dry spell. You see the crop field, I got some beans popping up, but it's pretty dry, and it isn't the end of the world. It's not the biggest drought we've ever had, but these are baby trees. I have to try to take care of them the best I can so they make it. With that said, I'm going to be putting some water on these trees, and I can tell from some of the rains, like this little volcano has completely flattened itself out, so I got to take a shovel and scrape the mulch away from the base of the tree, and also deal with some of the grass on the inside. So the guy here in the middle is my Granny Smith. He's also doing well, about 6 foot tall. If anybody's curious, not that it matters, I have no affiliation with them, but I got my trees from fastgrowingtrees.com, and I did 80 arborvitae trees last fall, and they turned out awesome, and they're still growing and doing good in my screen. So I decided to go back with them and get apple trees from them, and so far I'm very pleased with how the apple trees are turning out and thriving. So just gonna keep on hoping that they keep doing that and doing what I can to take care of them. And then on the other side of the Gala we have another Honeycrisp and 1 more Gala. And so if you're wondering why I planted them how I did, the answer is that Honeycrisps need they're not a self-pollinating tree, so they need another tree that can cross-pollinate with them. Galas are the same way, and Galas and Honeycrisps are 2 trees that can pollinate each other. So I have a Gala and a Honeycrisp on this side next to each other, and then same on the other side, the Honeycrisp and the Gala, and then the the Granny Smith is in the middle. Now the Granny Smith is self-pollinating, but there were notes on there that between the Galas and the Honeycrisp, there are two types of trees that will actually help the Granny Smith out. So hoping with this order, that's kind of why I did what I did. I don't think it really matters because, you know, the wind's always blowing. That's all it takes is for the tree pollen to land on the other tree to cross-pollinate, and then it can produce fruit. Online, I believe it says that these fruit trees can produce in the first, I think within 2 or 3 years. But there's a lot of different stances and how people view and see if you should cut the flowers off and or any fruit that starts growing in the first couple years so that the tree can work on root growth. Makes sense to me. I haven't had any. I think I had a flower on in the beginning, and I don't see anything since. But just kind of checking up with my trees and wanted to kind of share the update. But it is definitely important to fence these things off. If you live in an area, you know, even if you don't live in an area, you know, there's deer that will eventually get to these trees. So you got to take care of them and protect them, or otherwise they'll be as good as dead. So the last Gala, a couple less branches down low, but nice and green, some new growth up top. Definitely looking a little pruned, so I'm gonna get some water on this guy and make sure that he's getting all the water he needs, because we are a little bit dry right now. All these trees like about 6 hours of sunlight a day, so technically they face south, being on the north side of my field, so they do get plenty of sun. Right now obviously we're in the latter part of the day, so they're in the shade, but they are placed strategically, obviously, with a box blind up on top of the hill and a clover food plot next. So if I'm not enjoying the apples, eventually, hopefully the deer will be. But for now, I'm gonna go get some water using the e-bike, and we're gonna come back and water these trees up. All right, got my little hoe. Gonna get the mulch cleaned out around from the bottom side. Got some last jug of water, made a couple of trips. My speedometer on my e-bike, if you can make it out, 0.6 of a mile. That's a long way to carry 5-gallon water jugs back and forth. But I just got one more tree to water, and the watering will be done. And then I need to get my mulch scraped. But if you haven't checked it out yet, try a TST e-bike. If you're looking for a nice e-bike with good quality, strongly suggest it. It's helped my farm management game out, and it's a pretty awesome gig. Does not come with a milk crate, but you can get one and add it on, and it's a nice little way to carry your stuff, carry your tools, cameras, whatever you need with you in the woods. Basically going to repeat that with all 5 trees. It'll be a little bit hard to tell, but you can really see a lot of moisture. I haven't watered this tree yet underneath that mulch that I moved around, but just taking my little bit of water, coming to the base of the tree. This is the last one. Don't want to go too much, really let it soak in there, and hit it again. Let it soak in. Well, there you have it, folks. Got the apple trees taken care of for a little while. You know, I kind of check them every now and again when I'm out here and I'm messing around, just to make sure nothing's messed with them, make sure they're not looking like they're dying from any diseases or insects or anything. Just keep a little eye on them, and your apple trees should just do their thing and grow. So these are, like I said, I planted these in April. We're in June now, 2 months in, so far so good. Hopefully a couple years down the road we start getting some apples from them, and for both me and the deer to enjoy. But that's going to wrap up this little apple tree video. If you're looking to plant some apple trees, you should definitely check them out. Again, I got mine from fastgrowingtrees.com. I don't have anything to do with them, but I've had good luck with the trees that I've ordered from them. So if you're looking to get some, I strongly encourage you to do so. If you got your own little piece of ground or anywhere that you can try to make the habitat better, apple trees will do that. Find your zone, find out what grows well there, make an order, and get them planted. But hope you've enjoyed this little video of apple trees and maintenance on them, and hopefully to have more updates on the apple trees in the future. So thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.